Hi, class. This is the little voiceover PowerPoint just to help you with your English for today's lesson, which is Friday. Just some little pointers on here that are going to help you, which are linked to your home learning. We're going to be looking at today is considering a clause that can be used to extend this sentence using the following openers. So the bits in black that are on there, so the first bit, overlooking the village, is the opener that you have in your home learning. Now, I've helped you with this slightly today, where in the red, I've added my own. So what you need to be thinking about, what was overlooking the village and what was the action. So the example that I've given is the black mamba and his men were hiding in the thick bush ready to pounce. Okay, so what was overlooking the village was the black mamba and his men. And what was the action? So what were they doing? So they were hiding in the thick bush. Okay, so I want you to be really imaginative about this. I want you to really think about what could have been going on. I don't want you to copy my examples because they're there just to help to guide you. I want you to be coming up with lots of different examples yourself. And now the next one that is on your home learning is as far as the eye could see. So I've added in there, so what could be seen in the distance? This is what we need to be thinking about. So I've put, there were trees of all different shapes and sizes swaying in the gentle breeze. Objects moved between them, casting shadows on the trunks. Really let your imaginations run wild with this. What could you include? So what can be seen in the distance? Imagine that you are either the black mamba's men, or you're a Mara, or you're part of the village. What can you see? Really think about your senses. What can you see? What could you feel? That will help you to be really imaginative with this. Now, I know there's only 2 examples on your home learning, but I'd like you to come up with at least 3 or 4 different examples for each of the sentence openers, which I know that you are all more than capable of doing. Part of your home learning is looking at fronted adverbials. Now, we have covered this before in class. It's just going to be used looking at the different cortex, which is obviously the Gorilla Dawn. So I've just put a few little reminders on here for you. So fronted adverbials are fronted because they've been moved to the front of the sentence before the verb. Remember, the verb is our action, what is going on. So, in other words, fronted adverbials are words or phrases at the beginning of a sentence used to describe the action that follows it. So, and a comma is normally used after an adverbial, but like it always is, there are a few exceptions to this rule. But the ones that we're going to be using today do have a comma afterwards. Examples here. So, before the sun came up, he ate his breakfast. So the fronted adverbial is what's there in blue. So before the sun came up and then he ate his breakfast is the action afterwards. On the next one, all night long is our fronted adverbial, and then she danced, which is our action. And in blue again, as fast as he could, the rabbit hopped. Okay, so our fronted adverbial is there, and as you can see, there's a comma after each of these. Under the clock, he stood and waited. So under the clock is my fronted adverbial, and he stood and waited is the action because it's describing what the person is doing. And then by the train station, we met. So by the train station is the fronted adverbial, and then we met is what we did. It was the action. So these are just some little examples of how we can do that. On your home learning, one of the examples you have is where you have the blank line, which is where you're going to put in some of your fronted adverbials in there just to make it more interesting. It's really important we make our writing interesting and we use a variety of sentence openers. So I've put a couple of examples on there in red that you can see. So I've put, above the mountaintops, the haze of the sun started to fade deeper into the dark of the night. Or I could have used, in between the trees, the haze of the sun started to fade deeper into the dark of night. So to get your fronted adverbials, what I really want you to focus on is, where did the sun start to fade? You could choose lots of different positions. Just think about the setting of our core text to help you to be able to think of all these really imaginative starters and fronted adverbials to your sentences. have any other questions, like I've said in the other voiceovers about your learning, please join either of the available Zoom sessions, so either at 11:30 or at 2:45. It would be really, really great to see you. Have a lovely day.